Hi and welcome back. If it's your first time here, my name's Lee. So yesterday, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, signed a decree that basically said all unfriendly foreign customers of Russian gas are required to pay in Russian rubles. So basically this means what Russians have set out is that foreign customers of gas need to open ruble accounts at Gazprom Bank in their own countries. They will then deposit euros into that bank, and that bank will then convert those euros to rubles, and those rubles will be then sent to Gazprom in Russia. Gazprom being the state-owned gas company that deals with selling gas from Russia. So this is a statement Putin made. I've got this from Interfax. I'll leave a link to that in the description, but this is what Putin said. I signed a decree today that sets the rules for trading in Russian natural gas with so-called unfriendly states. We're proposing a clear and transparent arrangement to counterparties from such countries. In order to acquire Russian natural gas, they should open ruble accounts in Russian banks. It is from these accounts that payments for gas delivered starting tomorrow, April the 1st of this year, will be carried out. If such payments are not made, we will consider this non-fulfillment of obligations on the part of the buyers, with all ensuing consequences. No one sells us anything for free, and we also are not about to engage in charity. That is, the existing contracts will be discontinued. In a situation which the financial systems of Western countries are being used as a weapon, when companies from these states refuse to fulfill contracts with Russian banks, enterprises, individuals, when assets in dollars and euros are being frozen, there's no point in using the currency of those countries. In fact, what has happened, we supplied our resources to European consumers, in this case gas. They received it and paid us in euros, which they themselves then froze. With that in mind, there is every reason to consider that we delivered part of the gas supplied to Europe essentially for free. Naturally, it can't go on like this, even more so if, in the case of further supplies of gas and payment for them using the traditional arrangement, new financial proceeds in euros or dollars can also be blocked. Such a development of the situation is completely predictable, particularly as certain politicians in the West are talking about that, speaking publicly. Furthermore, the heads of government of European Union countries are speaking out exactly along these lines. The risks of the current state of affairs are for us, of course, unacceptable. Changing payments for Russian gas supplies over to Russian rubles is an important step towards strengthening our financial and economic sovereignty. We will further move in this direction consistently and systematically within the framework of a long-term plan, increase the share of payments in national currency and the currencies of those countries that are reliable partners in external trade. Speaking of which, you've probably heard that many traditional suppliers of energy resources on the global market are also already talking about diversifying currency payments. Now, what he means by that is that basically if countries are paying in euros or dollars, they are then freezing those euros and dollars, so it's pretty much pointless to Russia. They can't use it. And he's also saying that other countries that are energy producers are also looking to make and receive payments in other currencies, i.e. not the US dollar or the euro. And we've already seen India, who's a major purchaser of oil. They have just bought a number of tankers of oil and they have paid in rubles, and they have also embraced the They've put into place very quickly rubles and rupee mechanisms, so Russia and India can trade in their own currencies. And also Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, who's just visited China, which I'll also be doing a video on shortly. He is also going from China to visit India, and it's expected, there's rumours that a large Russian-India oil contract will be signed. Putin also goes on to say, "We adhere to and are going to adhere to our obligations on all contracts going forward, including gas contracts. We will continue to supply gas in the set volumes. I want to emphasize this, and at the prices designated in the existing long-term contracts. I will emphasize that these prices are exponentially lower than the current quotations on the spot market." What does this mean? To speak plainly, Russian gas is cheaper energy, heat and light in the homes of Europeans, is affordable fertilizer for European farmers, and consequently is affordable food products as well. In the end, finally, this is the competitive performance of European enterprises. That means the salaries of European citizens of European countries as well. So basically, what he's saying there is that as long as the Europeans pay in rubles, that the Russians will honour the long-term, the pricing in those long-term contracts, and that is still significantly lower than the spot prices. So what he's saying, if the Europeans cut off their nose to spite their face and refuse to pay, that will be a detriment to Europeans, because they will then have to go and buy gas on the spot market, which is considerably higher cost than what Russia are currently providing gas to Europe under those long-term contracts. He also says in his speech that he hints at probably this is just the start of other commodities and possibly other energy being priced in rubles, because basically he's saying that if Russia froze out of the euro and the US dollar, nobody wants to trade with Russia in those currencies, that they're pretty much useless to Russia. So it sounds as though they are already talking about switching other commodities over to being paid in rubles, and we've already seen that the Russian Union of Grain Exporters has also asked the Russian Central Bank to come up with a mechanism so they can also sell their products in rubles. Now we have the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and his ministers saying that they refuse to do this, and I'll just read a statement that was made by Olaf Scholz, and this is from The Guardian. Again, I will link this in the description of the video. So Olaf Scholz, the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, says he expects his country will continue to be able to pay for Russian gas in euros from Friday. Energy contracts between Germany and Russia stipulated payments in euros, sometimes in dollars, Scholz said at a press conference in Berlin on Thursday, shortly after the Kremlin announced Putin had signed a decree. In a conversation with the Russian president, I have stated clearly that this will stay that way. The German gas payments in euros will be converted into rubles by Russia's Gazprom Bank, German media reported on Thursday, based on the government's understanding of the process. The Kremlin's decree is formulated in such a way as to allow authorised banks to convert foreign currency in the payment process, as long as customers sign up to new conditions that include the opening of a rubles account. So my take on this is that it's a win-win for both parties. The Russian President Putin can say to his domestic audience that he's got a win, because he can say to those people that Europe are now paying in rubles, and technically they are, because rubles will be transferred to Gazprom in Russia. And the Europeans can say to their domestic audience that they're still paying in euros, although technically they will be paying in rubles, because Gazprom Bank will convert those euros to rubles before they're transferred to Gazprom in Russia. So it seems as though it's a win-win situation for both parties involved. But technically, I still think that it's obvious Gazprom in Russia will receive rubles, and that those euros that are paid into Russian Gazprom banks in the European countries will be converted to euros, and that will have the effect that more rubles will have to be purchased, and consequently that will have the effect of strengthening the ruble on the foreign exchange markets. Now, this could possibly be a move to the ruble being more widely used by the international community in energy payments. It may not. We need to wait and see. But what I will note is that the ruble has already strengthened almost back to pre-invasion levels. And if we remember that this is obviously not the plan of the Europeans and the Americans. You know, they were telling us that the ruble was going to absolutely collapse. It was going to go into free fall. The Russian economy would collapse. Well, it's obviously Russia have made many plans to counteract that, and it's obviously not playing out currently how the US and the Europeans expected it to. Anyway, it might be worth checking out my video I made about Russia pegging the ruble to gold. This is something else that may strengthen the use of the ruble in international energy trading. I will put that video up here so you can take a look at that if you wish. But that's my opinion on it. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments. But as always, for now, take care.